Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
And I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 9. The episode title will be in the subject of this video because I didn't get it before we started. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into this review.
Let's do it.
All right, so we'll start with Brett and Ryan.
All right.
So Brett and Ryan talk about all the games that they didn't get to play while they were on their honeymoon, and then they decide that they are going to play Jenga. The Jenga game got intense.
That was a very intense game of Jenga. Very talented.
Yeah. Brett made some cards to pull of all the things that she likes about Ryan. And Ryan felt it kind of, I don't remember what word he used, but for lack of better words, I'll use weird.
Yeah.
He felt that it was a little bit weird to reciprocate those like same sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I just can't place a finger on Ryan.
Yeah.
On this episode, the experts delivered cards to all of the couples, basically for them to talk about past loves and their love or lack thereof. So during the love conversation with the experts, we find out that Brett has been in love twice and she knows for certain that she's been in love. Ryan says that he thinks he's been in love twice, maybe. And he wanted to know how she knew that she was in love. And at the ending of that, he still was like, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. His thing is he's not feeling the spark between them. And it's like he was telling her, I believe, that he felt like he was he takes too long to feel that spark.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the issues with his past relationships is that they, you know, was feeling them, and he wasn't feeling them. And then next thing you know, they're over it because how long is somebody going to wait?
Mm-hmm. And then after the relationship is over, he's like, I really did like her.
Yeah. So it's I don't know what Ryan, I get them confused still. I don't know what Ryan is actually waiting on or what he's like actually looking for, trying to feel. I do appreciate him going into it, not treating her bad because he's like, oh, there's not a spark there. So I appreciate that part. But it's like, what is it going to take?
For the lie that he's telling himself is, oh, we need to have sex for there to be a spark. And Brett is like, I'm not having sex with you. Like, you don't even know if you like me.
Right.
And I mean, I completely get her sentiments. Like, why have sex with a person just because? Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know how you feel about me, but you want to have sex with me. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I think what he's not really thinking about or looking at is like, enjoy the person for who she is. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to find something that, oh, this is what I love about her. Just enjoy her for who she is right now because you are still in that beginning stage, even though, you know, it's 2 weeks that y'all been married at this point. You know, find that place, find that thing that you enjoy about her. You know, just enjoy the moment. You know what I'm saying? And then once you start to enjoy the moment, that spark that you're looking for will show itself. It's like, stop looking for something and you'll find it. But
all relationships also don't have to have a spark. Like, a spark doesn't make it like real.
It's not really defined what a spark is.
That's what I'm saying. But like, people are looking for like this big grand thing that happens.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like, in this moment, I knew I loved her.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, that's not how it is.
Absolutely not. And I think
it's like you're chasing a high that you've never had before, and you think that everything isn't it because you've never had it before, right, but you probably actually have.
Right. You just don't know it. I don't know, man. But Brett is actually tired, and she's feeling like, you know, once they got to the cookout, she was talking, I don't forget who she was talking to. I think it was Gil and Mirla and Jose. And she was telling them that she feels like basically she told the people that's watching that she feels like they're behind the other couples when they all saw each other together. And then also she's like, he needs to make a decision on if he likes her or whatever, so they can move forward and them getting to know each other and her feeling more comfortable. So I think she has every right.
Absolutely.
To feel the way she's feeling, because Ryan ain't giving anybody anything.
No, Ryan just keeps saying, I need more of an emotional and a physical connection. Yeah. He talks like Shaq a little bit too. I need an emotional and a physical connection to know that I really like someone.
That's too funny, man.
I didn't write anything else for them. I started a sentence that said Brett shared and I didn't finish it. So did you have anything else for them?
That's all I have for them.
All right. So we'll go in order. Mirla and Gil. That's what I wrote down next anyways. Okay. So Mirla and Rachel started off this episode talking to each other, and Mirla showed Rachel that Gil had gotten her a silicone wedding band for when she works out. And Rachel was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. And Mirla is like, I mean, we're over here like falling out over a piece of plastic. And I was like, it's not the piece of plastic or silicone. It is literally the gesture. Yeah. You're working out. He knows what it feels like. I'm sure his ring is a lot harder. Yeah. And this comes from former jewelry salesperson. His ring is a lot harder to manage than hers is, as far as like lifting weights and things like that. Yeah. So you have this really thick band for him. And he's like, if this is uncomfortable for me, has to be uncomfortable for her. Let me do something about it, because she also likes to work out. So this is what I was feeling for. Oh. I got you something. Yeah. It's a nice gesture.
Right.
Like, let's take it for what it was. It was a nice gesture. I'm not saying that it was a sweet, overly kind, like, oh my God, he's so amazing for doing this. It's just, hey, thought about you, got you this. Mm-hmm. So Mirla and Gil sit down and have the love conversation from the experts. And basically she said that she needs him to be actionable and not just say things, which I feel like the silicone band was actionable.
No, yeah.
I'm not sure. And I'm not saying that she was saying that he's not actionable. I think she was just saying actions speak louder than words in love for me.
Definitely.
But I think that at least as far as this, them being together on this show, Gil is attempting to be actionable. How much of that is production led? I don't know, but I don't think the silicone band was production led. Right. I think it was literally like, hey, something clicked. I did this. Here you go.
Right.
And it just happened to work. Gil did say that he's on a path to falling in love.
Mirla doesn't have a clue. Is she?
I don't know if Mirla doesn't have a clue about falling in love, or Mirla has, you know how people make up in their mind that we are going to have to go through X, Y, and Z before I am able to do any of these things.
Right, yeah.
So Mirla just came in and was like, non-negotiables, XYZ.
Yeah.
And she's holding firm to her non-negotiables. And I think that she's not letting her guard down in those non-negotiables. So with her not letting her guard down in those non-negotiables, it just seems like she doesn't know, but she's like, I mean, it might have progressed beyond this, but I'm not talking to you about it because that's one of my non-negotiables.
Right.
We're not talking about this, or at least we're not talking about it on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So Gil offered her a foot rub before bed, and she actually accepted this time. And then she rated his foot massage a 5 out of 10. I was like, it didn't look like a great foot massage. However, I guess maybe the production asked her to rate it because I would not have rated the foot massage. At least not to his face.
I don't know what to say about the foot massage because the foot massage was hey, let me rub your feet. Mm-hmm. You know? And she was like, she didn't want it at first. It's almost like she wanted to say, no, I don't need you to rub my feet now. My feet doesn't hurt. My feet are fine.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh. She said that to him. Like, my feet don't, massages are better when my feet hurt.
Yeah. And he was just like, well, I just want to, do something for you right now. Just take it for what it is, man. It's like, because me personally, I would have been like, all right, well then, never mind then. And would have walked off. Would have did something else. But I guess that's just me not marrying a stranger. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So prior to going to the barbecue during the love conversation, Gil and Mirla discussed that love, like Mirla says, love was a choice. She was like, you don't fall in love. You choose to be in love. So Gil presented that question to the group. Asked them, was being in love a choice? And he, shared during that conversation, again, that they still aren't kissing, but they are getting to be more intimate. Like, there's lots of touching going on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying sexual touching, but
he does touch her.
And she touches him. Like, she rests her hand on him. Like, they rub each other's backs when they're talking. Like, there's affection or intimacy in that way, but he's just like, man, I ain't getting no kisses.
Mm-hmm. Is love a choice?
The way some people act because they in love, it makes me believe that it's not. I think that being crazy in love is a choice. I think that you can have a great admiration and great affection and love for a person. However, you can also choose to not be blinded by stupidity.
I think love is the sum of a choice.
I could see that.
We could possibly talk about this on our podcast.
Whenever that comes back. So yeah, essentially during that conversation, everybody kind of picked who they said they thought would say I love you first. We got a lot of Mirla, a lot of Gil, or not a lot, but
that was a funny game.
Yeah, we got Mirla, we got Gil, we got Johnny, we got Bao, we got Jose and Rachel, but we didn't get any Brett and Ryan or Michaela and Zach.
Who you guys think said I love you first over here? We'll let you guys know in the comments.
I'm laughing because I remember the day.
I do too.
Last thing I got is that they went to a restaurant because Mirla saw a drink that she wanted called Chanel number 6. Gil basically said that he felt like Mirla does things for herself in the name of saying that she's doing things for him. And she's like, but I like to go to brunch and I like to do this. And he's like, yeah, but I don't really need those things. And she's like, but I like to do them and like, you can come.
Yeah, he didn't want to be her brunch husband. Mm-hmm. It's the way he presented it. And he wants to feel wanted, which I feel like everybody should want that. You shouldn't be with a person that you don't feel like they want you around anyway. And Mirla wasn't understanding or didn't care to hear what he was saying, because even after he said that, like, did you not think about that this would be something your husband would actually enjoy? Bless you.
Thank you.
Did you not see that this would be something that your husband really wouldn't enjoy or something like that? And she was just like, but I really wanted to go here. And she wanted him to be her brunch date or whatever. And he was like, that's really not me.
It's kind of like a conversation I had with my cousin. I don't remember if I talked about it on these reviews, but Mirla wants a husband as an accessory.
Yeah.
Like, my husband and I go out every Sunday and have brunch.
She's this real successful, whatever she does, and consultant, and she's not married, but she's 34. She's not hitting the marks that she said in her mind, the X, Y, and Z's that she said she set in her head. And this is a way for her to set those X, Y, and Z's. Oh, let me get a husband from Married at First Sight. Boom. They'll go along with it. And I hit my mark that I need to hit.
Right. So husband, check.
Check.
And then after that, it'll be one kid. Like, I did my duty. Check.
Check. Yeah.
I'm keeping my legacy going. So it's just,
I'm hitting these marks instead of actually really falling for a person and really trusting in a person and really thinking about a person, because that's one thing for you to be like, I always feel like the man has to think more for his lady than the woman does, even though some women, they go all out for their man. Like, you do a lot for me that I'd be like, thanks, man. You really understood and understand who I am. But then there's some people that's just like, I don't, it's not a sense of they don't care. They're just not paying attention to who it is that they're with. Mm-hmm. And they're still working off of things that they enjoy.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I'm going to say, you have anything else?
No,
you do not.
That's it.
Rachel and Jose. So Rachel and Mirla, of course, started off talking to each other, and she was telling her about her friend being a good read of character, and her friend got great vibes from Jose. Because her friend wasn't at the wedding, so she had never been around them. Yeah, that was her first time. Actually. And so she was like really giddy about the fact that her friend liked Jose.
Yeah.
Next was a scene that triggered Tommy again.
Yep.
Was Rachel and Jose and the toothpaste. You care to talk about it?
No, man. Like, the thing about it is, like,
as I proceed to talk about it.
Right. The thing about it is, it's like you grab it so barbarically. Like, my wife used to do this.
I did not grab it like that.
Oh, you did, man. It'd be a whole handprint in the middle of the toothpaste. You like, who raised you? But no, it's like you get more toothpaste out of the toothpaste if you roll it from the bottom instead of. You trying to get the toothpaste out and it's half in the bottom and the rest of it is at the top because you squeeze in the middle or squeeze. However, like it's I don't know, man. It just makes sense to me. I think it's because of how I grew up. Like, we used to have the twist top toothpaste instead of pop top. Mm-hmm. And I would always squeeze the toothpaste up, but everybody else in the house took it from the top or the middle. I'd be like, why do that? And then you came and did that. I was like, oh no, this is not what we're doing. We're not doing this.
I offered for us to have separate toothpaste
not at my house,
one point.
And that was a waste of money to me. Just squeeze from the bottom.
It was so just funny. To keep you from being upset about my toothpaste habits.
It's so funny, man. And I didn't know other people went through that. So I understood where Jose came from.
I adapted. I'm better now. Now we have the argument of, Artieka, will you throw this tooth away? And I'm like, nope, still toothpaste in there.
She be about to break her finger trying to get toothpaste out.
So after the scene with the toothpaste, Rachel and Jose go and do goat yoga. Tommy and I have a funny story about goats in Jamaica.
Yeah. Oh, Paul.
We'll tell it one day.
Yeah.
Today won't be the day though. But they did baby goat yoga, and I now want to do baby goat yoga.
Yeah.
They come back after their yoga session and they have their love talk. And basically he said he's going to continue doing the things that he's been doing in the relationship. And Rachel told him, you need to learn how to listen better. Like, you're a great communicator, but you communicate too much. Listen to other people communicate.
it's almost like he hears her, but not comprehending that she's actually saying words and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. And like, he's very kind and very sweet to her in his gestures, but she's like, he's not listening to the things that I say. And that's where the problem lies.
Right.
So Jose did tell her that he's never been in love. And Rachel said that she has, of course. And he said he had a 4-year relationship and it was just a strong like. And I was just like, people really be in long relationships and not in love.
I didn't get that. I was like, why be in a relationship knowing that you're bothered by this person having a child? Like that's not going to work just because it's like, this is this person's child. It's not like it has a hamster or something like that and you're allergic to it or something. This is a whole human being that this person has.
That's how, what was their names? Shay and Michael put a ring on his season one.
Oh, man, that bothered me so bad. It's like, why be with a person if you know that that's something that bothers you? Like, either you accept it and move on, because if anything goes further than boyfriend and girlfriend, you then becomes this child's step parent. For all intents and purposes, another parent to this child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I didn't understand that part. Like, you with a person for 4 years knowing that I can't get past the fact that this person has a child.
Right.
That's a waste of your time.
So,
and theirs.
On those love cards, everyone was like suggested to do a date night together. So Jose planned the date night for them and they created Scrabble coasters together because Rachel had been saying there's no coasters in the house. We need coasters. We need coasters. He was like, let's make coasters. So they do talk about her cheating in the past, and he made a really big deal of her cheating.
He said, once a cheater, always a cheater. And I don't think that's true.
I think you can reform yourself. Well, yeah, I think you can reform yourself. But she wasn't cheating on him.
Right.
So
he's like, because she's cheated before, it means that she.
Now, I thought it was kind of crazy that she cheated in the beginning of a relationship and still continued it on for like 4 more years.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I was like, yeah,
I was like, did she tell? Couldn't have told the guy.
Could not have.
The guy probably just now finding out.
So Jose invited everybody over to his house for a barbecue, and Val in her confessional nickname Rachel and Jose Rose. And she's like, they get on my nerves. So yeah, went to the future home of Rose, which was just Jose's home, and had their barbecue. Everybody had their little side conversations, and I think it was the next morning. Rachel,
Michaela and Bao that she was talking to. I literally wrote, she says she may say it. Then the next day, she says she loves him.
Yeah. The next morning, she shared through the camera footage that she told him the night before, and she was like, he didn't say it back. And then she was like, I'm lying, he did.
Yeah.
So Rachel and Jose are the first couple to say they love each other. I would have thought that Jose would have said it before.
I definitely would have picked Jose to say it first.
And that's all I had for them.
That's it for me too.
All right. Michaela and Zach are next up.
All right.
So Zach and Michaela sit down to have a conversation. After she texts him, she said, after texting him saying that he can't call her anymore, Zach gives some crazy analogy about, it wasn't crazy, but
it wasn't crazy. It was a very good analogy.
But it's like Michaela was looking at him like, what?
Right. She definitely wasn't following him.
He gave an analogy about bees in a tree and a Married at First Sight book. And Michaela said that it's all Zach's fault why the bees keep stinging him. And he needs to get to the source of the hive. And I'm like, the only things that I know of, correct me if I'm wrong, and Michaela obviously can't correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I don't know if she will read in the comments or not, but whatever.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice. But the only things that we've seen that Zach has done is, one, failure to communicate. allegedly, because according to everyone else on Unfiltered, he said he did communicate. But the infraction is failure to communicate the first time and then protecting himself from the failure to communicate wrath.
Yeah.
Because he failed to communicate, allegedly. She blew up on him. He was like, not me.
This is what you're not going to do.
And he stepped away from the situation, because if the roles had been reversed and he had gotten aggressive with her in the manner that she got aggressive with him,
the conversation would be completely different in how we look at him.
Run.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
How did he get past the psychological evaluation? And we need to have those same questions for her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my view of it, is that he moved and protected himself from the conversation, or not the conversation, from the situation of her wrath. So that's pretty much what I got from all of that. Basically, he asked how he can fix it. She said that he needs to talk to her, and they've promised to do better and hear each other out. We then find out during their love conversation, because they went out to dinner to have theirs. Like they went on a date instead of doing it at the house. Michaela and Zach have never been in love, neither one of them. She feels that she could have been in love, and he says no, he hasn't been. And he gave off a list of qualities that his previous girlfriends didn't check. And a lot of those things that he said, I'm like, some of those are just basic human things.
I think for me, it was, I don't want a list. I think when it comes to human beings, I don't think we should put people in a list. But I mean, like you said, you pointed it out, and I was like, yeah, you're right. But it's like, I guess it feels worse because it was in a, hey, you need to check this box, check this box, check this box, check it, you know, and in relationships, all those boxes, like those are natural things. Like, yeah, you should be a trustworthy. I should be able to trust you. Mm-hmm. I should be able to, like, I don't know what all of them were, but I know trust was a big one. I remember one of them was like, I think it was like adaptability, being able to be in any situation. Essentially, don't get out here and embarrass me. Right. Like, no, it's like, be a good human being and let us mesh together. But I think the biggest part about it is actually being that list. And that's why Michaela was like, I don't know if I can hit all those things. Well, you can. Just be a good human being. That's what he wants. I think that if we just go back and look at the actual list, it's not. He described a great character person. Right. Like, he didn't list, oh, she got to look like this. She got to have a big booty. Yeah, like, he didn't list those types of crazy things. At least I don't remember. When I was going through, because I looked at the list as it was popping up on the screen, and I should have taken a picture of it. But I was just like, all right, so you should be like, it wasn't anything 9 out of 10 of these, just in general. Right. It wasn't like super extreme specific things that he was asking for. I just think it's the idea of a list for a person to hit. I just want you to be a kind human. Yeah. So, let's see. The next thing that I noted was they both skirted around the issue of wanting to work to get back to where they were. Basically, they know that it's going to be work for them to go back to the butterflies that they had of the first, 4 days of their relationship. And first 2. Yeah. Well, I say 4 because they had to fly there. Yeah, they had to fly to Florida. And then they just gonna have to try to get back there. And I just don't really know if either one of them is willing to try. Well, it's a sense of understanding where you went wrong, you know, like it's not hard to get to know a person. Mm-hmm. And it's not hard to know if you like a person for who they are, you know. And Zach has already said who she's shown is not who he wants to be with. Mm-hmm. And so now it's, can she be somebody else, or is this truly who she is? Right. And he understands, and this is the maturity in Zach that I see, is that he's understanding that, hey, communication is our biggest failure. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's because we're not communicating well, and maybe if we try to communicate well and then enjoy each other's company, because that's mostly what it is.
Yeah.
Let me enjoy your company. The only way I'm enjoying your company is if we're not arguing. But what our arguments have been about is terrible communication. Of course, she blows up, but I mean, that's just her response to conflict. I'm going to yell, I'm going to stomp, I'm going to run out the room. That's something that he's used to and he doesn't like, but that's just how she responds. And until he understands how she responds to different situations, he'll know how to deal with those situations. Like, because it's like, even with you, I had to learn how you deal with certain things and how to deal with those things. But overall, I enjoy you. With the good and the bad. And then I'm pretty sure it's vice versa. But
just you and that toothpaste. All right. So last thing we see was Zach set up a chef-led dinner of them making shrimp scampi. And
they can't cook.
Yeah. The chef was like, the water should be boiling by now. Yeah. It ain't boiling.
All I was thinking was, did they cut it on? How long
did you cut it on high?
Right.
Did you try to get it to boil?
Even if you cut it on medium high, it's gonna boil after a while.
Well, if it was on low,
it's on low, it's not gonna boil.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did you cut it on?
Right.
What did you cut it on? Was it on 6 or was it on 8? Did you cut it on 4? What's the numbers on your stove?
Right.
Is it gas? How high is your flame?
He was like, she can't season food.
She made the food very spicy, apparently.
And she was like, I don't taste it. He was like, man, I need some water.
And
but it's actually milk. And he was like, I don't like milk. Nobody does.
I would say I don't need that. That's all I got for them. You done?
I just said when they cook together, I smiled.
Oh, that's sweet. You like people doing things together.
We cook together, I smile.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll be like, get out my way.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we have Johnny and Bao. Johnny and Bao cook dinner together. They're kissing each other, and then we turn into an argument.
They was nasty kissing, too. You see that? Well, Johnny was trying to nasty kiss.
And Bao's like, we are on camera. He says he didn't feel the initial spark, but he's sticking around until he finds it. They do their love activity and they both reveal that they've been in love. He did also share that he learned about sex through hentai, which is a cartoon porn. And I think that explains a lot about Johnny's relationship to
his over-sexualization of relationships.
Porn is not real life.
It's definitely not.
It is a lot of bad acting and sex.
But the funny part is, and this probably TMI, that's the funny part about porn to me, is that the acting is so bad.
So a friend from high school that actually went to college with us, he was a little bit older. I remember me and him went, like we were riding together to another friend's house and she was sitting on her couch watching porn when we walked in the door. And me and him looked at each other like, are we interrupting something?
Right.
And she was like, no, I really watch these for bad acting. Like, I don't get anything out of the porn aspect, but the acting is hilarious.
It's terrible.
So it was like the three of us were sitting on the couch watching this lady walk in. I mean, this guy walks through the door and he's like, cable guy. And her roommate walked in and was like, y'all really up here watching this with her? Because like her roommate knew that it was her that like guided this conversation. And it's like by like an hour into it, it was like 6 college students sitting in the living room watching it. Like, and it's like none of us could ever look at this the same again. So now it's like it's a running joke between us. about it because of that one
man.
time that we walked in.
It's just terrible. It's awful. But he learned about sex through hentai. That's something I never watched.
What?
Hentai.
Oh. But you knew what it was.
No, I definitely knew what it was.
Like I'm saying, before he explained.
Yeah. He was like, what's that? Cartoon porn.
So essentially during their conversation, Bao said that they needed to find a common ground in order to fall in love with each other. And I thought this was at the ending, but I guess it was at that point. So Bao recorded herself being the big spoon, and she was like, I have won.
Johnny just smiled.
Hold on, did I put exactly what she said? Recorded to show that the pillows between them have disappeared. She is the big spoon, and she says she's worming her way into his heart. They go to the barbecue. Nothing really happened with the two of them during the barbecue portion. So the date night that Bao decided to put together was them playing bar games, eating fried chicken, and drinking beer. So yeah, like she planned a good night in that feels like a night out because like they did beer tasting. They had several different types of beer. They were able to play darts with the little dart gun. And I think they said if she wins, she gets to choose what they do in bed tonight. If he wins, he gets to choose what they do in bed tonight. She was like, game on, because I'm not playing video games in bed tonight. And I think that was it. Oh, after the barbecue, Johnny set up a sip and stroke for them at the house. So they painted a picture together, which I thought was cute. And
Bao took it too far for Johnny, like by having it had to be perfect. And Johnny was like, I don't care if it's perfect. Let's just do this and enjoy the moment. Did you tell them that they had sex?
Oh, I did not. They had sex.
They definitely had sex. Johnny has seemed to be happier ever since. But yeah, that's all I got for him.
So we've had Johnny and Bao have sex. Rachel and Jose have had sex. Michaela have had sex. So
Mirla and Gil is not going to have sex before this is over. I'm not even thinking Gil's going to get a kiss on the lips before this is over.
What if Mirla and Gil, like, at the end are like, yeah, we started having sex at like week 3. And
that would be hilarious because they hid that. They definitely hid that. And Brett and Ryan, I don't know. I can't read Ryan.
No, I've definitely read Ryan. He wants to have sex.
Yeah, he wants to, but I just,
I don't know if it's specifically with Rachel. I mean, with Brett that he wants to have sex.
Yeah.
Ryan wants to have sex. It's just with who?
Right.
Like, is it just a warm body or is it actually his wife?
I think it's just a warm body. But anyway.
Anywho, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I said subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell. And
like this video.
And comment down below.
What question can we say today?
I don't know. I've been really struggling with these questions.
Is Mirla, what's the thoughts on Mirla's response to Gil by not, when he was like saying that he wanted to be wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Was Mirla wrong in the sense of, I just want you for
as
brunch,
an accessory?
Or is it more to it? So let us know in the comments. And yeah.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Peace.